Hello, I'm Peter Rono from Kaonashi,
And I'm Peo from Kaunashi.
and this is our track by track with Rocks Out.
That was definitely written so we went to a cabin in Phillips, Maine, for 2 weeks in October 2019 to write this record. That was definitely written together. I remember trying to do that in person. Man, I kind of I don't know. The process is just kind of we hammer things away. We just get ideas, but I don't know. Pete, you got anything on that?
When I heard the instrumental, it definitely felt like the intro. It just something about the beginning of it. It was so frantic and felt like the first day of school to me. You know what I mean? Also, it's not very chorus versus chorus, that song. So it felt like it was right for the first track. It was definitely hard for me to write those lyrics because I don't know, just trying to start it off the right way. You know what I mean? It was the foundation for everything else in the album. But I'm glad how I started the record, personality wise for the characters and just kind of trying to what's the word? Set the stage for the rest of the album.
Also, shout out Downswing for
Oh yeah,
letting us, or they recorded their bus for us, so that intro bus sound is Downswing.
Yeah,
so shout out Downswing. Yeah, so that song was I don't know, that was the August song. So August, that was his passion project. He wrote most of that. And yeah, you can hear the influences, really all of his influence is pour out. He's super into Linkin Park and what's that Silver Sun pickups and stuff like that. And yeah, his that sort of thing really, I think, screams once you know that and then listen, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that is definitely August song.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about the beginning of it, but it just the songs really just sounded like track 1 or 2 to me. It sounded like it would fit in the track listing,
in the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Scenes of a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
And I actually had a lot of fun writing that song because it just, the way Taylor was written was more of a challenge for the opening. But after I got comfortable with that song, it just felt like, all right, I'm in my zone now to write track 2. You know what I mean? So I was warmed up by the time that I wrote Fuck Temple University. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna do for this. You know what I mean?
It was a mix. We weren't necessarily sure what we wanted to do with the single because this album is pretty all over the place. It was a mix of okay, it's our shortest song, I think, on the record. Yeah. It's quickest, it's catchy, it's fun. And I think it's applicable outside of the story, even though it has that story element still in there. It's you can have you can relate to it outside of that. But yeah, I mean, writing that was the first song that we all wrote together from scratch for this record. My idea for it was the chorus. I actually wrote the chorus first. I was really into Return to Forever, and I was I want to write a fusion song, and it clearly did not come out that way. But that's where the chorus was written first, and then we added everything later. And that was totally collaborative. It was us with our guitars and drums, sticks in hand, and just screaming at each other, trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, usually when I write my lyrics, I do it after the music is written, but this was done very collaboratively, and it just felt I don't know, it felt almost like a different side of Kaunashi. You know what I mean? Very catchy, very fast, and really fun compared to how heavy everything else was. And I I don't know, the reason that it's the lead single, I think, is it can be taken out of context. You know what I mean? Like you don't really need to know what's going on in the story, even though it's absolutely, you know, a
In the
huge part
story.
in the
Yeah.
story. Yeah. And it was just really fun. Like I love the ending. That's my favorite part.
Was
Man.
Market Street was originally called Gojira, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the demo name for Market Street is Gojira. Um, it was a really tough one. That was an Alex song for
Yeah.
100%. And for me at least, it was tough. Like the beginning, like me and Alex were trying to figure out how things were gonna flow. Should we be doing this or that? I mean, I guess what I was about to say was kind of ties the next track in, so I'll wait for that. I'll wait for the next track, but that's where I
Hmm.
am from the writing standpoint. It was an Alex song for sure, and then the rest of the guys came in and put our stuff to it, but that's an Alex one.
When I was writing the lyrics to Market, I had it really in mind with the next track. So I just kind of wrote those two. That was really like a challenging, like I need to do something next level. You know what I mean? Like write something with these two songs in mind. And I loved writing it because it was just like I want to push myself as much as I can. Like, so I was really influenced by like death metal and like progressive music when I was writing those patterns and lyrics. I was just trying to do something big picture. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like I was looking at it as one song, you know, the first half of just a long song, and a lot of trying to put the emotion in there. Like, okay, we had fun with Scooter, you know what I mean? Now I gotta make it a little heavy and serious with this song, and also just storytelling. You know what I mean? Like trying to push myself as a writer. I'd almost say try to push myself as like an author, you know, trying to really tell a story.
Yeah, so well for on like so Broad Market Street and Broad Street were actually never it wasn't like intentionally written back to back.
Yeah.
We recorded it that way. Like, so we just like had it set up in the session and we were listening to it one night and they flowed into each other and we all were just like, yo, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
that's like a big thing for us is like, if you go to literally any of our stuff since X Prayers, we have two songs that are really one song, Drift and Flow, um, uh, Trouble
So
Depressive,
yeah.
Coffee in 5 Year, and now we have Market Street, Broad Street. Um, Also, a little fun fact about Broad Street was this song was originally written for the Why Did You Do It vinyl, and me and Peter didn't like it.
Mhm.
We thought it didn't have what we wanted, and so the demo was titled February Single, and then when we shot it down, it got changed to Peter Doesn't Like It.
And infamously.
Infamously, Peter doesn't like it. But then eventually, like in the cabin, we ended up working it out, trying to like rehash these ideas and fix them and
Yeah.
make it so that we dug it. And I think it came out insane.
Oh yeah. Like Broad Street was easily the most challenging song I've ever had to write for Kaonashi. Like just trying to navigate around those parts. It makes sense to me now, but I really had to sit down and replay it and rethink it over and over again. I'm really satisfied with how it came out, especially the ending. It is so far from where it started, that whole song. And I don't know. I love it now. I love that song.
And it's like, yeah, how it moves musically is also um that metaphorical representation of the Market Street, Broad Street, and then like the train. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Of like taking the train home. It is this you were here at the beginning, and now you're all the way over here.
It was really, I don't know. Those are like some of the weirdest Kanashi songs to me. They're just there's so much going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I
It's just
also
patterns and rhythms, just no real chorus. Just
going.
yeah,
I think it's cool because there's definitely sections of this album where it's like, the beginning 1 to 3, and then the Market Street, Broad Street sector, and then it just has all these chunks. I think it's pretty cool that we can, I'll talk about that later. So this is another one of the fully collaborative band. Like, we wrote this together all with our instruments in hand. Let's see, the chorus. So the fun thing about the chorus for me is like, so there's these parts on the album that are referred to foggy loops. The reason why is I can't like, it's because they were difficult at first, and where we were was like a mountainous, very foggy in the morning. And I think we wrote this in the morning. So the chorus is referred to the foggy loop, and it's like a 5/4 polyrhythm, which is like a really cool thing that we like to do. Is like we try to make polyrhythms as accessible and palatable as possible, like people can listen to it without really understanding what's happening and still get hooked. So that was like a really fun part for me. This is definitely one of my favorite songs off the record, if not my favorite song off the record. It means a lot. It's hits home for me. We we really tried with this one. Like, I don't know, I love the song.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of this song because whereas in Market and Broad I was trying to push myself like experimentally and I guess just technically, you know what I mean? I was trying to push myself I guess as a singer and not singing just in choruses, but adding the singing in the verse, you know what I mean? And just thinking about catchiness, trying to write something that people would like sing for years, you know what I mean? So that was a challenge too. Just I don't know, it's hard to try to write something people will remember forever. But I feel like I did. I really do.
What was the demo of this? What was the demo name of this one? Was this because there's like the foggy loop and then there's the fake foggy loop or the real foggy? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah.
But the feeling, I was just trying to emulate this very specific feeling of like 2008, like Equal Vision, bands like Chiodos and like Fear Before and Cody and Cambria in our own way. But just the way those bands made me feel back then. A lot like Birds, even.
You want to make people, you want that to be conveyed.
Yes, like emotional post-hardcore. And I really think we did that.
Runaway J. So the song title comes from, I think we pulled up the list of all the horses in I just said Guitar Center. In GTA 4?
San Andreas.
It's like, there's like a Kentucky Derby race thing in San Andreas, and there's the list of all the horses on Wikipedia, and we just went through it, found Runaway J. So that's where the song title comes from. It just happened to fit, It was originally something else, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, we're not calling it that. I remember it was decided when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
As for writing, oh man.
I mean, I remember the way I was approaching it. I was just trying to show off like another side of like the band, where like more like.
Is that Spirit Me? So is it which one? Which one's this one?
Spirit Me?
Spirit Me.
Yeah, it's okay. That one. Just heavy and like trying to put in like kind of like white belt like screamo in there and like all these different aspects, try and do different things with my voice, you know what I mean? Like lows, and I was listening to like Self-Defense Family when I was doing it too. Just this really weird aggressive mix, you know what I mean? And how far I could push myself, how high I could go, how chaotic I could go. I was thinking this would be the live song, like the part in the set where it's just like crazy. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Okay, that is the song.
Yeah, I was just listening to it, just like headbanging, you know what I mean? Thinking about like what I like crazy things to even say just to fit the music, And I think it really came through.
Runaway J is definitely one of our hard
Yeah.
songs on the record. It was definitely cool. I remember doing the like practicing the the spoken word part. I remember practicing that with Alex in the cabin. But man, I'm honestly blurring on that. That is definitely an Alex in August song. I'm trying to remember how that all came together, but I can't. But those two are definitely responsible for that one. So it was called, the demo was called T.A.Y.L.O, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, I guess it was just because of the beginning is really crazy, but that has, T.A.Y.L was not a inspiration for me.
Yeah.
From Autumn to Ashes is like the big thing percussively for me when it comes to it, because it's just build up, and that's something that me and Peter have always loved about, like, that's like such a staple. Every From Autumn to Ashes record has the build up snare thing. I love that. Huge inspiration there.
And even for me, like with the build-ups, I think about Fear Before the March of Flames and the Always Open Mouth build-ups. Just like, I love parts like that. Just take your time and just have it open, you know?
Yeah, like we wanted to, just create room, atmosphere, and space with this one. And then for the beginning is this pretty tricky thing that I decided to punish myself to do for some reason. So if you go listen to it, I'm actually playing this like crazy, obnoxious 7/3 polyrhythm. And so for like the music nerds who are into this, I play it would be 5 1/3 rotations of this polyrhythm at the beginning, and it's really obnoxious. And then the following preceding part is like 7 bars of 7, then a bar of 9. And that's how the phrasing goes there, and it's really obnoxious. But so we still try to push ourselves technically, even though trying to create this like really spacious emotional area.
It's like so many influences went into that song. Just like the beginning, I was listening to like Blue Record by Weezer, and I was like, I want to sing, you know what I mean? I was thinking about it live, like this is a really emotional song. I was thinking about being at the First Unitarian Church the whole time I was writing it, you know, or just like being like, especially the like build up part. I was thinking about just being on the floor and just having the mic up and just having everybody sing it word for word. So I was trying to think of something easy to remember, something that has meant a lot to me. It's really influenced for that build up part by To the Beat of a Dead Horse by Touche Amore. Super influenced by that. I actually got the ending lyric of that build up from Shane from Down in It, because that lyric always meant a lot to me. So I asked him for permission to use that, and he gave it to me. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you, Shane. And it's just, I don't know, one of my favorite songs. I love all the songs, but that one, I asked for that. Like, please give me that build up so I could just have that space to just have this kind of part I've always wanted.
I remember when we were recording it, or not recording it, we were writing it. And so we did that because, again, Peter's always like, just give me the song after. And we gave it to him. He was like, no, more.
I just,
but more.
Go. Gift from God was a big influence on that song too for me. I love that band. If anyone here hasn't heard them, check them out. And I don't know. Just thinking about the live setting, I always think about that. How's this song going to go over live? I want to play that song live so bad. It was made to be sang along to.
Yeah, for sure. That song is, I feel like, especially with the guitar solo hits, I feel like there's supposed to be the fan with the hair going like it's the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. Wow. But anyway, I love that song. It's really, I think, appropriately titled.
Yeah. August came out with that title. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Was it August or was it Alex?
It was August for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's a perfect Kaunashi song in the sense of like, what we can do on the softer side, but still remain extremely technical.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Blue Pop. I think Blue Pop was actually, that's a collaborative song. I think it was one of our oldest songs on the record.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think it's one of our oldest ones. The intro initially wasn't what it is at all. I came in and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some Pantera stuff for Underdog. So the idea, I guess, like I mean, explain it through. It's supposed to be, you know, the what? How do I say it? Like the boiling point is blue pop, right?
Yes.
The top blows off type sort of bit. So that's the blue pop, the snare hit. So that's him, like, that's it. This is where things are starting to go downhill.
Snapping,
yeah.
It's like Recipe was like, oh man, you know what? I don't care anymore. Blue pop.
Snap.
Yeah. And then just, yeah, I love that so much.
And so, like, where it's like kind of like the stages of, you know, dealing with this like extreme mental health, depression sort of thing, where it's like you have this extremely manic point where you're mad, aggressive, reactionary, and then there's this like, there's always this weird low point right before, you know, everything hits the fan.
Yeah, the way I looked at it was just like up, down, up. So it's like there's so much feeling and tension in blue pop, and then you're caught off guard and brought down with Underdog 2. Blue Pop is easily my favorite song on the record. I know I said that like 3 times, but like I love Counselors, I love Recipe, I love Runaway J, but my favorite song is Blue Pop. Definitely.
Track 10, so Underdog 2, it was always meant to be a ballad. It was always meant to be this extremely soft point, like the calm before the storm sort of bit. So that was always supposed to be there.
I always wanted the second to last track on our album to be just this really soft song. It was really inspired by the Fall of Troy Manipulator, where they had Caught Up, and then I went into A Man, a Plan, a Canal, Panama. Like, it was just this really catchy song. You're not like, after this album of chaos, you're brought down for a second, and then the last track is like a long track with like a lot going on. So I wanted to do the same thing.
I wrote Underdog 2, like I wrote the lyrics and everything. So the first, actually, it's not. This is the second Kaunashi song that I wrote the lyrics and vocals for, and wrote the song. Really,
the first one was Hexes.
Yeah, Hexes was the first one that I wrote, and that one was, I mean, I know it's a different album, but that was super From Autumn to Ashes inspired, and that was, it's supposed to be this ballad, but I feel like I didn't do the right thing. So I wrote these lyrics at the cabin, like at 2 a.m. I remember being like, Peter, I need to talk to you. I need your advice. Like, can we do this? Because I've never done something like this before. And then I gave my lyrics. I had it all like kind of situated so that you'd read it the way it's performed, I guess. And I gave it to Alex, and I was like, hey, make this good. And Alex did exactly what I wanted without having to say anything, which was crazy. I was like, this is exactly how I like the rhythms were supposed to go. So
it was like, okay, I want a ballad, Pale. And Pale was like, all right, well, I'm gonna write the lyrics, and I'm gonna write like just the story really for that part, and then you passed it off to Alex.
I was like, Alex, perform it, please.
Yeah,
because I can't sing or play guitar well at all. So yeah, it's really just, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, like it was such a collaborative effort in separate ways. Like, we are just psycho musicians, so it's like we all just have so many ideas, you know, for everything. It's I think we just work in weird ways for every song. It's never just this linear,
oh, this worked last time, let's do it again. It's never
that way.
So and everything hits the fan on Underdog 3, Exit Part 4,
Yeah.
a self-fulfilling prophecy,
Yeah. That's
right?
it. Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, and it really, I think it perfectly wraps up the album. It expresses the album in these three songs. It really represents the journey that we take you through from
Yeah.
start to finish, from A to B. So it's like weird. It's like a little A to B. Here's A to B, and then there's a tiny A to B inside of it. Well, that's how I personally feel.
Last track. Oh my God. I'm so proud of Underdog 3 lyrically. I feel like just this thing we've been working on for so long, I really just wrapped it up perfect. And like that was written probably the fastest and easiest song I had to write was the most important one. Cause I just by the like I wrote them in order. So by the time I got to that, I was really just in my writing mode and she came naturally to me. I wrote it on the motel floor after drinking a bottle of gas station wine or I think supermarket wine in Augusta, Maine. In Maine,
In the cabin,
the cabin. No, like when we
we
were.
went back.
Yeah, I wrote it not in the cabin. I wrote it when we were staying at the hotel or
Oh yeah, yeah,
motel.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay.
Nowhere for Tomorrow was a big influence for the Underdog series for me with the end complete because I just wanted to make something just to wrap it all up. You know what I mean? By the end, like this is the season finale. Like this is
Yeah.
the conclusion.